you know, like, unfortunately, I was, you know, after I kind of was half and half with religion, I was very, what is the word? It starts with an M. No, what was it? Promiscuous, excuse me. I was promiscuous because I don't know, poor self-esteem, poor, you know, like all these issues that I had, you know, like wanting, you know, just feeling so sorry for myself, being depressed, and then thinking that sex would make me feel better, you know, and finally I got help for it, realized it's not what I needed. But I mean, growing up in the religious world made it very hard for this to happen to somebody because you can't tell anybody. I couldn't tell anybody, like, what happened to me. Nobody would understand it. I didn't understand it. I didn't know what happened to me, you know? And unfortunately, it's happened more than once in my life. So, you know, like they say that, you know, women want to try to take control when that happens. And you know what, like, whatever, I've made peace with it. You know, I don't tell the guys I'm with how many I've been with. I don't think there's really a point.
Yeah.
I don't think, you know, why they don't want to know my number. I don't know. We know we've been with other people. Is it going to do anything for our relationship? No. So why talk about it?
I got a theory if a guy says he's been with 9 women, he's probably been with 3. Just asking to lie. And if a woman says she's been with 3, she's probably been with like 15. Because you notice the women tend to like estimate down.
You love my friend Dawn. She's so funny. She was this really religious Christian girl, and now she's like more down to earth. But she totally admits to being with over 300 men.
Wow, is she cute?
She's not so much cute as she has this amazing personality.
Yeah.
Like she isn't the prettiest. She is kind of cute, but like when you talk to her, she's just enticing. Like she brings you in, and men love that because she has this. Even though she's not pretty, she's super confident. Like she's not thin, she's not that, but she's like this personality of hers. She's hilarious. She's funny. The men love that.
Yeah.
So, you know, interesting, huh?
Now I read this theory that you need to know a woman for at least 4 to 7 hours before you have sex with her, because if you have sex with her before then, she'll almost always regret it because her anti-slut defense will kick in, and so she'll never have sex with you again. Well, that's been my experience as well. Like if I've ever had sex with a woman after knowing her for less than 4 hours, there's never any more sex. She always regrets it because her anti-slut defense kicks in.
Are you just sleeping with the same type of women like every time?
No, this just happened twice.
Oh, it's happened twice. Okay. Is it interesting? Okay.
What do you think?
What do I think about that?
Yeah, like how many hours does a woman need to know a guy before she feels comfortable enough to sleep with him and not regret it?
I think that every guy is different. The fact of the matter is that I think if a girl, right, likes a guy and she finds him extremely attractive, but really just doesn't even feel like there's ever any potential for a relationship, I think that, you know, she'd sleep with him, you know, as soon as, you know, just from the flirtation and the chemistry, and I think she'd sleep with him easy, like in less than that. I think so. I think that when a girl sees potential for a relationship, she definitely holds out.
Yeah.
Definitely holds out. It's not about the regret. It's about, you know, like the fact that I, you know, like, do I want this to be a relationship or do I just want to have fun? And some girls are in that mindset where they just do want to have fun. I know a lot of girls that just want to, well, I used to, I don't really know now, but they used to just want to have fun, just wanted to sleep with a guy and didn't even think, like my friend Dawn, didn't think twice about it. And then I know girls that have always had boyfriends are like, no, I made him wait because, you know, I mean, me for myself, I mean, I've had it both ways, you know, so.
What's the longest you've made a guy wait?
That's a good question.
Like how many dates?
The longest I've waited, 2 months.
How many dates?
I don't know, it was a lot. Maybe like, maybe 4 for each month. Like, so maybe 8 dates. Yeah. That's like the longest.
Yeah. So, what did growing up Orthodox, did you grow up modern Orthodox?
At first I grew up Hasidic, I grew up Chabad, and then my family became modern Orthodox later.
At what age did your family become modern Orthodox?
They became modern Orthodox when I was about 14.
Okay, so growing up Hasidic and growing up super religious, how well did that prepare you for dating?
Not at all.
I remember you telling me this.
Not at all. Oh my god. Well, first of all, I was taught I had to be Shermanagia. Does everyone know what that means?
Yeah, don't touch the opposite sex.
Yeah, like Shermanagia, that I was taught that I had to not do anything with a guy until I got married, that I had to be shidduch, that like, I mean, like, I liked boys. I always wanted, like, when I was in Camp God in Israel, you know, like the Chabad camp, I always went to the boys' side and threw water balloons. That was my thing. I mean, like,
At what age were you doing this?
From age 7 to, like,
Right.
12, maybe 13. I mean, like, seriously, there was this one kid, I mean, he's hardcore religious, and he was always Hasidic. Like, he had the payas and everything.
Right.
But, like, we flirted with each other. We used to throw water balloons at each other all the freaking time. It was awesome. But it's so funny. I see him now, like, at weddings once in a while, and he, like, has, like, 4 or 5 kids running around him. He has kids married. Looks the same. Still looks like a little boy. But, you know, I didn't... You know, I didn't know how to interact with boys, like, at all. I mean, you know, because even when I went to high school, my family made Aliyah, and I went to high school in Israel, the boys were in the yeshiva,
Yeah.
and we were at the all-girls school. And we saw them because they get let out, like, 7 o'clock, and we saw them Friday night. We'd see them Friday nights, like, you know, at Shabbat after we'd have dinner. But it was so hard because you don't... You know, some of us did touch each other, and it was like, if we did, like, we got talked about. You know, we were all in the same youth group. We all were constantly getting lectured on how we shouldn't do that. Should I still be talking?
Keep going.
Okay.
I just want to dice 7 up for myself.
All right. Yeah. So, no, but, you know, like, so we always, like, I just didn't... I don't know, like, it was so hard for me. I didn't... Like, I had a boyfriend when I was about 15, going on 16. I had an older boyfriend from a religious family.
How old?
He was 18 going on 19, and I was 15 going on 16. And he kept being like, I can't date you, you're too young, you're too young, you're too young. And he was totally from like a family of like 6 boys. 8 now. And I kept like thinking, you know, I'm going to get this boy, I'm going to have this boy. And, you know, I didn't know, like I just chased him. I chased him around, I didn't know how to act. A little girl. In the end, he was like, I surrender, we could be together. And he was my first love. I mean, like, this is my first I love you. I've said I love you to one other person, and that's it, you know, and I didn't feel I felt like I meant it. Like, I was 16, and I meant it with this guy.
That was Devorah.
Wait, what?
That was Devorah. That's the only other person you've said I love you to.
I know, I say I love you to her all the time. I love you! No, and Ripley. What's it called? But, you know, I just, you know, I was with him, he was my boyfriend, like, he was my, like, first a lot of things, you know, but he's from a religious family, so was I, and, you know, even though we talked about getting married, I was too young, and he recognized that I was too young. I still talked about high school, he went to college, you know, and,
where in Israel was this?
when I lived in Renana.
Okay.
I lived in Renana, and, you know, but I didn't really know, like, you know, like, we were together all the time, but that's the only real experience I knew how to have a relationship, where we were together all the time, where we were close to each other, we loved each other, but it was all lovey-dovey. You know, we fought maybe once, because I never wanted to fight with him, you know, and I was like, and remember, like, you know, like, we're dating for, like, the long term, we're dating for the marriage, you know, like, we talk about it, you know, but, like, it's not normal dating. It wasn't normal dating.
If you would, if you're on a date,
Yeah.
and you came back here for the first date, and, like, you looked around,
This?
yeah, this place. What would it say to you as like a woman looking for a husband?
Well, at least you're neat. I mean,
You can be honest.
here's the thing, right? Like, I've dated guys that are still living with their family because of financial difficulty. So, I mean, as long as you're paying your rent, I mean, like, and, I mean, it depends, you know, like, do I really like the guy? That's the question.
If you really liked the guy and he lived here,
Then, you know, I'd be willing to, you know, like, see the ambitions and see, like, you know, I mean...
what if he was a blogger?
Maybe, remember, it's if you really like, it's not about what they do, as long as they're not, like, dealing coke. I mean, like, if they love what they do, if they're happy with their life, if they're making a living, then, and you truly care about them and want to be with them, you shouldn't judge somebody by that.
That's what I say.
I mean, no,